I came across this local news article that talks about like this other magnificent legislation that they've been doing that seems to help everybody, but in reality helps nobody. This new law is going to require landlords to have to keep it cool during heat waves. And when you just think about it, it's so stupid. Like everybody in Los Angeles, for example, has to drive their cars. The majority of cars, if not 95% of cars, runs off fossil fuels, runs on gas. Do they actually help the everyday disenfranchised person by raising gas prices, gas taxes, so that it costs us more? Does it help us when they get rid of our refineries in Southern California? Does it help those that are financially disenfranchised? No, it doesn't. So obviously they don't care. On paper, it looks like a good idea. They're like, wow, right? They're going to tell landlords that they have to keep the AC on so that when it's hot, we're going to stay cooler for those that don't have the means or finances to be able to like pay for electricity. But it's like, why don't you go that extra step? You're in control of the bigger picture as the government. Why do you not go towards these electrical companies and say, we need and demand lower prices? That's why you're the government. You're there to protect us. You're there to make life better for us. Oh, wow. You're going to go tell some of these landlords who probably, yeah, they're making profit, but at the same time, who are you to tell them to keep on AC? And like, what does that actually mean? Is that just for apartments or is that for homes? Because if it's for rental homes, those people that live in those homes, they have to pay for that electricity anyways. I mean, does anybody sit back and go, are these violently ignorant politicians being held accountable for their absolute ignorance? And I think that's something we should all have a gripe about. Like the things where they could actually help us by lowering taxes, lowering gas taxes, lowering gas fuel costs, lowering electricity costs. Like even if you happen to have an electric vehicle, you still need those electrical costs lowered. I mean, during heat waves, right, people end up getting electrical bills like $1,200 a month. That's insanity. And why is our government not doing something for that? Why is our infrastructure not being duped up, souped up to be able to handle this demand for electricity? Yet they keep coming up with some green solutions that they can't manage themselves. The little that government can do is force these corporations to make it cheaper on us to live. And do they? No. Do they go to banks and say we need lower rates for loans towards homes so people can buy homes? No, they don't. That's what they could actually do for us. Instead, they act like they're going to do something to help us against those big bad landlords. Here's another great idea that I know it's a touchy subject, but it's food for thought, right? How much do you think illegal immigration affects the supply of homes to be rented, to be lived in by families and those people that are here legally? I guarantee you, if there was an honest discussion, illegal immigration poses a very, very harsh threat for the average day low-income citizen that's here legally in the United States, that's here legally in Southern California. But again, it's a discussion we can't have, right? Because they weaponize any sort of discussion. Like if you even bring that up, you're a white supremacist or you're racist, something ridiculous. So you can never have a discussion and you can never fix these problems. Unfortunately, it just seems like it's going to be business as usual till these politicians are held accountable. And I think it's really important that somehow, some way, we actually pass legislation that holds these politicians accountable. Like instead of Gavin Newsom arguing with Trump, why doesn't Gavin Newsom say, you know what, I'm going to one-up Trump. I'm going to one-up him with economic help towards the average day citizen. And I'm going to lower gas tax prices. I'm going to lower those gas prices so the average person, whether legal or illegal, that needs to buy fuel to survive within their business to be able to provide for themselves and their family, I'm going to lower that to make life a little easier on them. But no, they pass these like ridiculous things that they're going to tell renters that, you know, their landlords have to turn on the AC. It's like, it's ridiculous. Like, why is that even a consideration? Like, who brings up these ideas? It seems like everybody keeps avoiding the issues, the real issues that could help everybody, the foundation of it all. Do you think if there was more supply of homes because everybody was here legally, that it would be cheaper for rent towards the average day American citizen? Do you think if they lowered electrical costs, that maybe during those heat waves, we could all afford turning on our AC? Do you think maybe we could force all of these companies and the government to get back into like upgrading our infrastructure so that we could manage during heat waves to even provide that electricity to everybody to use on their air conditionings? It just seems that nothing important really wants to be addressed. It's all these little minute ideas that are never going to solve the bigger picture.